Why did you become a real estate agent? So my name is Hani Faraj. With Vancouver House Finders, and today on Real Estate Legacy Builders, I want to talk about why people fail and why they succeed. And the reason why I think it starts with why someone became a real estate agent. Okay. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my history before I get started. But basically, what I wanted to share with you is before becoming a realtor, I had failed at a lot of things. I had failed as a mortgage broker. I had started like this referral business beforehand. I was generating leads for realtors and selling them and all that stuff. And, something happened to me in the meanwhile when that happened. Not happened to me, happened for me. And, somebody told me, like, look, if you find something you love to do, then you'll never work a day in your life. And it's like, man, that sounds like such a cliche thing. I don't know about that. Whatever. Who likes going to work? And a bunch of different things happened that kind of propelled me to become a really good real estate agent. But it all started with my decision to quit becoming a mortgage broker. So I had spent a lot of money into becoming a mortgage broker. I had generated a bunch of leads before becoming a mortgage broker. I had this business that was like a little bit of a like this entertainment business that was a promotion business. So I thought I was the greatest marketer on earth, which wasn't true. And then I got into mortgages because I had been a mortgage broker in Ontario. Mind you, I had moved to BC. And when I was in Ontario, I knew tons of people. So it was really easy for me to get business, to connect with people, to get people to work with me, especially with the banks. Usually used to have higher rates than mortgage brokers. So, and at the time, people didn't really use mortgage brokers. They didn't understand the concept. It was a kind of new thing. But fast forward, a bunch of years when I became a mortgage broker here in British Columbia, different part of Canada, if you're from the States, it was a different world. The internet had blew up, online leads had blow up. People were very used to like rate shopping. That rate shopping thing had become like a big frenzy and stuff like that. And it kind of blew my mind a little bit. I won't lie to you. So I really struggled being a mortgage broker, and I tried really hard, spent a lot of money. And the last thing that I did, and it was horrible, horrible, horrible. And I shouldn't have done that, to be honest with you. I'll share with you what I did. That was a huge mistake. Is I had started spending money on SEO, which stands for search engine optimization. Now, if you don't know why that's a bad idea, I'll briefly explain that to you. So, in the world of real estate, what you want to do is, if you're going to spend any money on SEO, you want to spend it on the money on the keywords that make you money, on the keywords that are going to transact or that are going to be actually gain a result, like a lead, give you a lead. Okay. So here I am. I'd actually never generated any leads online. I didn't know anything about funnels, didn't know anything about landing page, didn't know anything about anything. And then all of a sudden I started giving this guy $1,000 a month, which was a lot of money at the time. Like I didn't even make that kind of money. I made like $3,000 maybe a month. So giving somebody a third of my income to generate me leads. Now one day, this is hilarious. He built the website, he did all this stuff. So one day he comes out and he says, "Oh, by the way, um, yeah, I looked up and my website had been hacked or blackballed by Google. And I guess I didn't know this, but basically what happens is people sometimes, if they're pre-buying or aggressively buying backlinks and doing all kinds of weird stuff, what happens is they end up or even if it was a bad plugin or something, it created a big thing. And every time somebody clicked on my website, there's like this red screen like, do not give your information to this. And mind you, I'm a mortgage broker. So how horrible was that? It's freaking terrible, terrible, terrible. And I was just like, fuck, what the heck is this? So I ended up quitting. I actually stopped all my paying my bills or whatever, and I got a job at on a telecom company and whatnot. And you know, it's really devastating. And for a long time, I was like always thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back," and I'm going. And I just couldn't see how. I just couldn't see how. I couldn't see how. Like I really need this paycheck, and so on and so forth. And then I started dabbling into marketing. My wife luckily had started working for this realtor. She's always worked for realtors even before her and I met. And then she was telling me, he's doing these property videos, and they were ugly, man. They were really ugly. There's no pizzazz to them, nothing crazy. And I was like, this is freaking ugly, man. What the heck? So, and there he's paying like $300 for these videos. And, they are nice. Like the guy, cameraman would take them and he would do this and he would do that. And looks really nice, but they weren't really exciting. So I went and I learned how to do some videos and stuff like that. And started building these little property videos. And long story short, he started getting, I created a channel for him. He started getting some reviews and some, people liking him and all this stuff or whatever. It blew my mind, honestly. It really did blow my mind. And I couldn't believe it that he's getting so much things. I started charging for that one thing. Then with that money, I took the money that I was making from him. And then one day he took me out to lunch. He was like, hey, honey, I've been doing this 37 years and I haven't really been able to create leverage. And I was like, okay, what does that mean? Well, it's like I always have to deal with the business. I have to do this, I have to do that. And even when I hired realtors, I just gave them business. They didn't give me anything, or they did give me something. It was like one in a blue moon or whatever. And I said, okay, fair enough. So long story short, what happened was I went and I learned about online marketing. I literally didn't have the money, and I went and spent my own money. I begged the guy. He had this course, and I said, "Look, can I pay you in like 3 months? Can I pay you in like 3 month installments?" And he was laughing. He's like, "Are you a realtor?" I'm like, "No, I'm actually just trying to learn marketing and stuff." And couldn't believe it. He said, "Okay, fair enough. I'll pay you, but I'll let you do this." So he let me pay for this like in installments, and I did. And long story short, I ended up learning a bunch and I did what they said. And I went to this guy and I said, look, I need $500 a month. You're not going to pay me. You're going to pay Google. We're going to generate some leads. And I learned long keywords, blah, 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 all this stuff. And eventually what happened was he started getting leads and he had a hard time even recruiting people. And I still don't understand why I did all this, like, and for free. And it just didn't, it was weird. But I actually did it because I was learning. For once in my life, like I wasn't able to afford post-secondary education. And for once in my life, I felt like thrilled because I was like learning this online stuff. I was learning from this guy. It was the best thing in the freaking world, honestly. I couldn't believe how cool it was. And I was like, this is the greatest thing on earth. And I really freaking love it. And the best part about this whole thing is that he was getting results. That's the best part. And I started to kind of call myself a marketer, like, oh, I know how to do marketing for online, for realtors at least. And that was one event that kind of happened that blew my mind. Uh, but there's something else that happened before that, so I won't get into that. I'll tell you about it later. But the point I'm trying to make is that I got the confidence to know, like, okay, I think I know what to do here. The guy couldn't even recruit anybody, whatever. And then I actually found him a realtor. I found him a realtor. One of my mortgage clients had called me one day, hey, honey, how's it going? He thought I was like successful, which I wasn't. So look, I just got my license, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, fair enough. And I was like, okay, fair enough, man. He's like, yeah, I need business. Do you know anybody? Whatever. I said, fortunately, no, but you know what? Have you thought about joining a team? No, I wasn't ready. A bunch of months later, he wasn't successful. So I called him again. Hey, how's it going? What's going on? And he said, actually, I am struggling and maybe I will join that team. So I had Mary, my wife, talk to him and kind of qualify him. And, he was willing to do anything. So that year, with the online lead gen, with everything, he did about 9 deals. So actually, first he did six, then the next year he did nine. And after that, he did 18, and it was just a natural progression, right? But again, what I want to tell you is going back to the why. Why do people do what I do? So, and why I think the why will determine if you're going to be successful in real estate or not. What I see now, and I'm not judging, I just want to tell you some perspective. Okay. Um, I look at the real estate people that are coming in, and it's really odd. They'll say, "Oh, look, my cousin, he's a doofus and he got into real estate and now he's rich." Or my mom, told me I should get into real estate because she's been doing 100 years. Or, my friend or my boyfriend or my girlfriend or so on and so forth. Or, my family builds a lot of houses and, I thought naturally they're just going to give me business. And unfortunately, you learn really quickly that yes, those people are great, but buying a house isn't like buying milk, where you need that stuff every week, or it's not like getting gas every week, or whatever it is that you do every week, right? Buying real estate is a once in a while type of thing. And I find that if you don't learn how to lead gen, how to get some skills, how to get some knowledge, how to get some experience, how to develop the right mindset and take the right action, that unfortunately, there's no amount of referrals that's going to save your butt from friends and family. Now, if you have some kind of arrangement with somebody, like and they can feed you, good luck, good job. You don't need this video. I mean, don't even waste your time. Okay. But what I'm telling you, for the average realtor that I see, I've met and I've hired and trained so many people, all lovely people, all great people, and they all had right intentions. Like not long, like I never made 100 grand before I got into real estate, ever, ever. Just didn't even like. I see these guys, man. They're awesome. They're at the gym. They manage gyms and they manage corporate environments, and they do this, and they're making hundreds of thousands. And I find that those people have the hardest time because they're used to these boxes where every single week, doesn't matter what happens. If I'm a head of marketing and yeah, my marketing efforts sucked this quarter, I don't know if I'll get fired, but I think, you know, think I'll be okay. I mean, I see this all the time. Like I have a friend of mine, one of my kids' friends is like an engineer, and he does this thing, and he's like, sometimes I don't go to work on Friday, and I just finish my job on Saturday or Sunday, and his paycheck comes every freaking week, man. It comes like clockwork. There's no like clocking in or out, whatever. So I just, again, why you get into this business is very, very, very important. And there's two reasons, there's two different types of mindsets and the motivation, I should call it. The first motivation is called intrinsic motivation. Okay. And what does that means? Like, I'm doing this for my family. I'm doing this to make me feel like a good person or like I'm worthy or something. I'm doing this for my father. I want to make my mom proud. I want to do something greater than myself. And usually it's internal. Okay. Versus I'm doing this because I want to get the flashy car. I want to get the flashy house. I want to go on nice vacations. I want to fly first class. Now, mind you, all those things are very doable if you're a good, successful real estate agent and you're a professional and you care about what you do. Okay. For me, I'll be honest with you, I just fell in love with marketing and I fell in love with people and I love solving problems. I love, 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 love solving problems. I will, people call me all the time that own software companies, they own whatever, and I'll say, I have this problem. How do I fix it? And I just love it. I love it. That's just me. One of the bonuses that I think, makes a lot of sense is that I was already used to calling people. Um, and I think it just kind of worked that way because I was kind of used to working people and I was working with people and so on and so forth. And, sadly, not sadly, but the cool thing about it was that, you know, um, people, you know, that was easy for me to generate leads, to talk to people. These skills were there, and then eventually problem solve. And I love it when people have problems. Like I call somebody, like, "Oh, my house is beat down. I need to do this." Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah, I love it. It's the greatest thing on earth. Honestly, I think it's great. It's awesome. Okay, so basically, what I want to say is, if you are in real estate, you should examine why you got into real estate and maybe find a new motivation. I'm not saying you should go quit, but you should find a new motivation. Find a new why. And the why should be bigger than yourself and it should be not self-serving. It should be internal, meaning I'm trying to make somebody proud. I'm trying to make somebody happy. I want to do this for my kids. I want this, that, and the other. Not the flat, not the nice car, not the fancy this, not the fancy that, not the title, not the plaque, none of that stuff. I have all that stuff. It doesn't make me happy, to be honest with you. What makes me happy is seeing people succeed. Like yesterday, we had a great email from this lady, and this lady was, she's an engineer, lovely people. And, I'll be honest with you, she was like, oh, I don't know if I got a good deal. Why am I paying asking price? I'm like, the market was hot. You need to pay asking price. oh, I don't know about this. Oh, this building's old, all this stuff. And then like literally in a year, her property's gone up by 80 grand. 80 grand, man. 80 grand. Just so you know, like that's a lot of money, man. And it's all because I saw something. There was a bunch of laws happen, and I was like, you should bet on this. You should bet on this. And yeah, it was a little bit speculative, but I was like, I just know this. I'm betting, the rental thing is gonna go away. Your property will go up. The property had like a rental restriction and stuff, and it's gonna go away, but it was kind of slow to move, and the bylaws were still there. And I said, probably within 6 months, they're all gonna go away. It worked. So again, why you get into real estate is very important. If you haven't gone in for the right reasons, what I recommend is please, please, please re-examine why you got into business. And in the comments below, I want you to tell me why you got in, and is it intrinsic or is it extrinsic? Is it for yourself or your family or your mom or your grandmother, or is it big fancy car, impress a girl, impress a guy, tell people in high school they suck, whatever. You know what I mean? Um, in the comments below, please let me know. I'd love to get your feedback. Again, Hani Faraj here. Please subscribe, share, hit the like button, and share this with any real estate agent who's struggling here. Doesn't matter where they are. I'd love to help. Okay. Bless you. Have a good weekend. Cheers, guys. Bye.